Hello everyone, welcome to next section of our video. In this section, I'll tell you how you can configure your VirtualBox. In the earlier video, as I have shown you how you can download and install GenyMotion. But as I told you, GenyMotion will not be able to launch until you enable virtualizations, that is VTX and AMD-V in your BIOS. So VTX is virtualization enabled and AMD-V is for the AMD processors. So I'll just show you how you can do it in your machines. So normally this VTX and AMD-V extension settings will be available in advanced settings in most of the motherboards. So I'll just first tell you why we need this. So most of the time what happens, the hardware virtualization technology extension should be enabled in motherboard BIOS in order to run recent operating system and some of the virtualization applications. Specifically when you talk about Windows 10 and 8.1 require VTX or AMD-V enabled processors to accelerate the usage of desktop virtualization software like VMware software or a VirtualBox or a Hyper-V. Even to install this latest Windows operating system as a virtual machine, VT should be enabled on the host computer. But as of now, we need it just to enable or launch our GenyMotion. So if your processor, PC processor and motherboard support this feature, and if they don't, you can't do anything to get this feature because it's a built-in hardware feature. But I'll just explain you how you can enable Intel virtualization technology VTX for Intel processors and AMD-V for AMD processors. So basically all the latest processors and motherboards support virtualization technology, which I told you, that is the VTX and AMD-V. And if you have an old PC, just double check the processor model for this feature. So next thing is this one. So this is just a screenshot I have taken how we can enable the virtualization, since I cannot do the recording while I'm in a BIOS setup, so BIOS Windows. So I have just taken a screenshot so that you can check the same thing in your machine. So it will look something like this. If you can see the virtualization technology, so if it is disabled in your machine, you can just go over here and enter a right key and make it as enable, and then you can save the settings. You can do a F10 and save it, and then you can exit, and then you can restart your machine. So this will enable your virtualization. This is something which you can refer. Next thing is how you can confirm or how you will be able to know that if VTX or AMD-V is enabled in your system or is it disabled. So there are some I'll provide you two utility softwares from which you can just check. One is specifically for Intel and the other one is provided by Microsoft, which will be for Intel as well as for AMD processor. So we'll see both of them one by one. So for that I'll do, so anyways I have given these links in this slide, so you can just refer while you are installing this, and now I'll show you how you can do it. So first we will do it for the Intel one. What I'll do, I'll just go to the website. So this is for Intel, the same link which I have pasted in the slide. So this is the same link from intel.com content. So Intel processor identification utility.html. So from here you can see the first one, this one, the step one, download and run. So I'll just download now. So you can see over here the various options are available and you can download it. So these are for this all machines. So based on your OS you can just download it. So this is the Intel software license agreement. I'll just accept the license and terms and condition, and you can see this is the file which it is saying for saving. I'll just click on save and save this file. So once it's saved, I'll just open it. So this is the file which got saved. I'll just right click on this. I'll just click on install and I'll just run this one. I'll click on next and I'll just go back. Just click on next, since I have already installed this one. So I'll just show you. So once the installation is done, you can do click of finish and it will be installed in your machine. So you can see from here this panel, Intel Processor Identification Utility. If I double click on this and try to run this, so it will open something like this. I'll click on yes. You have to accept the license agreement. Click on accept and this utility will start. Then I'll show you how you can check it. So this is how it loads. So it is the frequency test, and you can go to this tab, CPU technologies, and you can see over here it's supporting advanced Intel processor technology. You can see Intel R virtualization technology. It is yes. So if it's yes, it's already enabled in my machine, so I just don't need to do anything. So this is how you can check if you have an Intel processor. The same I'll tell you for one tool which can be used for Intel as well as for a AMD processor. So I'll just cancel it. The second link is from Microsoft. So this is from Microsoft.com, and you can see I have pasted this same link in the slide as well. You can refer it. You can download this. There is an option of download. You can start a download. You can check this one, this file, and you can click on next. So this exe file will be downloaded. Once it's downloaded, this is thanks for downloading. You can just save the file, and you can see this has been downloaded. I'll just double click on this and I'll click on run. You can see this one. I'll click yes. So you can see over here what it's saying. Do you want to so the computer meets the requirements, and no, I don't want to send any data. So I'll execute it once more so that you understand it, how it asked me. So you can see it's already installed. This computer is configured with hardware assisted virtualization. So if your machine is not configured, it will say it's not configured with the hardware assisted virtualization. So in this way you can just check how you can run it in a machine and check whether it's already installed or not. The next thing which we'll do is if it's not installed. Suppose if it's not installed, so these are some of the steps I have mentioned. So how you can configure it in Windows 8, 8.1 and 10 machines. So these are the steps. Since I cannot show you in a BIOS window and record it, but I have mentioned all the steps which I have done. So in the Windows 8, 8.1 or 10 machine, you can just go to setting, change the PC setting. Then you will get an option of update and recovery, and there you can click on recovery option, then advanced startup and restart now. After the restart, we find a screen which has a troubleshoot option will be available. In that troubleshoot option, you have to go to the advanced option. Then this UEFI firmware settings will be available, and then you have to click on restart. Then press F10 to go to the BIOS setting, go to system configuration and enable the virtualization technology by clicking enter, which is the second option. So you will get something like this one. So you have to click, it will be disabled, so you have to click on enter and you have to enable it. Once you enable it, you can do a F10 and save your changes. So once you do it, you can restart your machine, and this will enable virtualization in your system, and now you will be able to run a GenyMotion using VirtualBox. So these are the simple steps I have mentioned. You can do it, and if, as I told you earlier, if I have an advanced motherboard, it will be almost configured. This will be enabled, and which you can check it either using a Microsoft tool or an Intel tool, processor tool. So I believe it is already done. In the next section, I will tell you how you can configure your GenyMotion in an Android Studio and run an Android device in that. So thank you, and let's see you in the next section.